We need to come up with a great new UI for the iMusic app that is specifically tailored to take advantage of the iPad's larger screen size. In this lesson, we'll get that process started. The core feature of our app is its ability to manage a list of albums that we'd like to buy from the iTunes Store. A user can navigate through the list, tap an album, and then view that album's details. This is really a classic master detail type of presentation. Our iPhone version presented the master list on one screen, and then the detail view on another. But that wouldn't be a very space-efficient presentation on the iPad. The UIKit framework provides a class called UI Split View Controller. This is an iPad-specific controller used when building master detail views. When running in landscape mode, the master list is pinned to the left side of the screen, and the detail view is pinned to the right. When the user rotates the device to portrait mode, that master list usually rolls up into a button in the navigation bar, so it's still accessible but out of the way. This sounds like a good fit for what we need, so let's begin storyboarding it up. I'll begin by creating a new scene based on a split view controller. Now clearly I need a slightly larger screen to fit all of this into view, but we'll drop that in and then scroll this way down so we can see what we're looking at. The two view controllers on the top of the screen represent the master list, and the one on the bottom represents the detail view. So I'm going to delete the table view. Let me switch over to the navigator and open up our iPhone version. I'll highlight our music list view controller and Command-C to copy it. Switch back over to the iPad version, and then I will paste that in there. I'll control drag from the navigation controller over to the music list view controller and select relationship root view controller. So that's pretty slick how you can copy from one storyboard into another. It makes it really easy to move these things around. Now let me do the same thing with the detail view. I'll delete this one, switch over to the iPhone storyboard, and our detail view controller is clear over here on the right. Let me highlight that, Command-C to copy, over to the iPad version, Command-V to paste, drag this one over, and I'll control drag from the split view controller to hook up that relationship again. So I'll select Relationship Detail View Controller. Let's zoom in a little bit on this storyboard. We can see our image view kind of went haywire. Let me resize this to 100 by 100. Slide these over a little bit. Alright, so I'll hit Command-R to run the app. And there's our detail view in portrait mode. Let's rotate the device. If you go up to the hardware menu, you can select rotate left, rotate right. I'll say rotate left. And well, we can see we don't have rotation working. Let's go fix that problem. I'll stop the app, switch over to controllers, and let me select the album details view controller first. Now, UI view controller defines a method called should auto rotate to interface orientation. Scroll this down. By default, a view controller is locked into portrait mode, and on the iPhone that works perfectly fine as that's typically the expected behavior. But when you're running on the iPad, you're really expected to support all four orientations. I could query this UI interface orientation argument that's being passed to this method and make a determination on whether it should rotate based on that. But in the case of the iPad, I'll simply say return yes. To properly support rotating to all interface orientations, every view controller participating in this user interface needs to respond with yes when asked this question. So I'm going to copy this method, and on the music list view controller, I want to override this method and say yes as well. Let me run the app again. So I'll rotate and rotate into landscape mode, and now we can see that we're getting the correct rotation behavior. We currently don't have any data set up, so let me switch over to the iPhone version real quickly and run that and just populate that data set. Switch back to iPad, scale this down. Alright, so we can still see that our music list is working as always. There are a number of things that are not quite right with our detail view, but one of which is that it typically was presented in a navigation controller, so it's missing its navigation bar. Let's go fix that problem. Scroll out a little bit. Instead of having the split view point directly at the detail view controller to define the detail view, let's highlight that detail view and embed it in a navigation controller. I'll save that and run it again. Alright, so that looks much better. Now we've got a navigation bar at the top. The universalizing of our app is coming along pretty well. We've embedded our music list and detail view in a UI split view controller to form a master detail type of presentation. It's nice that we can often copy and paste resources from one storyboard to another, as that can be a big time saver over rewriting these things from scratch. We've still got a number of issues to work out, but we're headed in the right direction.